um, just even with Fordham, so we have this thing called a vital check. You get an email every day, you have to fill out a survey, and basically it's like, do I feel sick? Or it's like just two questions, click submit, and that's it. That is your pass to get into campus. And I feel like,
Yeah.
although that's nice, but how do you account for people to be really truthful about it? Also, if
Mm-hmm.
you're going to do that survey, I think people, even to get into hospitals in some scenarios, like they have like the temperature check machine. So I think like even Fordham or other like universities can enforce that sort of I don't know this sort of thing. And also just to add on, what was I gonna add on? It's okay. Oh wait, yeah. So there are some colleges that completely shut out any like campus visits. I guess like Columbia. So there are like colleges in every different like and different policies all throughout the nation. So I don't know. Add your thoughts.
It's just I I also just feel like colleges are like profiting off of students because they just want residents to come in and they know that they're gonna close soon anyway. And like I just feel like they don't care. Like this just seems like a business to me. And especially with Fordham, like how you saw like all the students going to Howell, like it's just like campus safety isn't doing anything about it, you know? So that's how you can tell. And like it harms like the local residents who like live in the area.
I don't know, like the policy on residents coming like through the gates and like going into like the city and then coming back and like going, but like that harms like anything that they do. It sucks that like Bronx people and people in the city like are kind of like they're putting their health into these like teenagers' hands at like the end of the day. Like most of them come from suburbs. Like it's not like they. I don't know how seriously they actually do take what's going on, and I don't know if I can put my trust in that, which is why I decided to stay in my house to take online to take classes. But I don't know, it just sucks because so many other people don't have the option to like be outside or not, like they have to go to work and stuff.
And Tasnia, do you guys want to add anything from your perspective? And then we'll ask for you.
Um, so far, John Jay, I don't think they're allowing anybody on campus. Only the students that like don't have access to technology, or the people that like they take. I forgot what it's called. Like there's this program where like for students with special needs
Mm-hmm.
that like need to like be there like physically instead of remotely. So I feel like it's like that. But so far, I haven't heard anything like crazy from John Jay or from John Jay students. Like everybody is following the rules, and I'm glad because it's like my school. So,
Yeah.
but I've heard a lot of bad things from mostly private universities like YU. Like I've heard terrible things, and I'm surprised too.
The raise, right?
Yeah, I agree. Like Baruch is, I'm pretty sure like the CUNY system is kind of doing a good job because none of us are allowed to go on campus. And I know I'm bummed about like club events and everything, but like I know like later on it'll be worth it. And like even if campus was open, like we would be restricted like really badly because like Baruch is like 2 buildings, right? And it's 15,000 students. That's just impossible. If public universities can do that, I'm pretty sure private universities should like consider doing more things, especially like those posts about like Fordham, like the not actually inside Fordham, but like the bars and everything. That's just really like sad to see, especially because it's North Bronx with like compact housing and people there don't really have like the option to like avoid them. They're just there, so they have to just deal with the effects of it.
Yeah, especially Fordham being like such a minority dense like neighborhood.
The administration were the ones letting them back into campus. You know what I mean? Well, isn't it their responsibility to keep that in mind? Because we're college students. It's like, and the freshmen, they haven't even like made friends. So I guess it's like, who do we even blame? But yeah.
So to add on, well, college students we are technically adults. Like we are we are classified as adults. And there is always going to be this sort of divide within like what is even in moral issues, we can see that like happening with Black Lives Matter or right now like coronavirus. Like it's something that you shouldn't debate with, but even so like even so if that's what I think, there's always going to be people that believe in it, people that don't. But I believe like as an administration, they should choose one side and they should choose a side that is like just morally correct. And if they if they can't come together themselves, then obviously you can't expect your students to behave if you are also not aligned with each other's thoughts, and you're not aligned in this like moral aspect of like making sure your students are safe. You're literally giving your students this sort of deathbed. But yeah.
I'm also upset about like the clubs. Like I feel like when you said like under the circumstances and everything that has happened, I feel like now would be the best time to go onto campus and to like join the clubs and like, you know, to really speak out. And it's unfortunate that we can't and that most of us don't have the privilege of going to campus. It kind of really sucks because I've heard a lot of people say like, oh, that it's not that it's good, but that it's preferable that things like this happen during quarantine because everybody gets a chance to reflect. And I'm kind of overhearing that though, because it's like, and especially when it comes to like the social issues and everything that's going on, is because like Black people and people of color, like we don't, like we've had many years to reflect on what's happening. Like the chance to do something is now. It's like it happens now. Like we want to do something about it now, but like we can't because we're so restricted. Especially the communities that COVID affects the most, which is Black and Brown communities. Like it's harder for us to actually go outside because New York City is so tight and there's people everywhere. Like I don't know if anybody's got a chance to go to a protest, but like I'm almost, half of me is like scared to go to one because it's like there's so many people and I come back home to kids, so I'm scared of getting sick and then getting them sick. So it's just like I just hate that I can't be on campus and talking about these issues that I really want to talk about. Yes.
But just like how you guys are balancing your life right now beyond school, have you guys had time to think emotionally? Because I mean, I remember last week my English professor asked me like, oh, how's everybody feeling? And now I realize like he does that every time we have class. I've been so overwhelmed with work, like I haven't really had time to think about my feelings. So has everyone else had time to think about their feelings? Is everyone taking care of themselves? Like how is that going for you guys? Like do you have a life beyond school?
I try, but like it's not that easy because even if you want to have a life beyond school, like it's always the back of your head and you're always concerned about it, you know, and even like making plans with your friends or like just there's just so many things to worry about now, you know. And wait, you asked different parts to the questions. What were your other questions?
Just like have you had time to like, I guess the main question is have you had time to
Time? No. But I feel like every time I feel like when I have time, I just want to be like, I just want some time to myself.
I feel like there was a narrative that like we had to like that we were home, so we should be able to do more. Like we should be working home. We should be working out at home. We should be doing homework. We should be like getting like fixing our sleep schedule. And I feel like I've done none of those things or little to none of those things, which is like really discouraging because you're just trying to do homework all the time because of that anxiety that you probably missed an email or that you've missed something. So I feel like that kind of taken over everything.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like even before like classes started, like we were home all this time, and I feel like I wasted the time in a way. Like, oh, what did I do this whole time? I could have, done so much with that time. Because before I remember complaining, oh, I have so much schoolwork to do, I have this to do, I have that to do. But I really had no excuses. Like I did nothing. And then after school started, it's like I actually don't have time to myself, and I'm just like, I don't even know what I mean by time to myself either. I don't mean like sometimes I just want to be alone, but other times I really need to like socialize and talk with people. Like today, I had a lot of work to do. So when I saw Sangeeta's thing, that's why I was like, I wanted to join because like I need to talk to people. Like I am so like bored doing work all day. Like I need an hour to myself, and then I'm probably gonna have to work after this again. But yeah, like sometimes it just depends on what you need. Sometimes you need time to yourself. Like I forgot who said it before, and then sometimes you really need to just talk to people and let it all out because it's not healthy either way. Like to keep it all to yourself or not have time to yourself.
It's kind of nice to know that like we're not alone.
I felt the same way. Like I wanted, like in my head, I was like, oh my God, I have so much stuff to do. How am I gonna wait? Like in my idea, it wasn't like, I think it's how you look at things. Like in my idea, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna waste an hour. And I'm like, no, it doesn't have to. It's not a waste, like you need to take like that time. Like unless you're really gonna drive yourself crazy or like the burnout, it's gonna be so serious. But even now, like I try to not think about homework while I'm not doing homework, but that's really hard to do.
Able to, so just like joining this call and at least meeting 2 new people is like something to me, like that still matters to me because like this goes back to the thing that I was saying about how professors don't make classes engaging, where it's like I don't even save anyone's number anymore for like contact information. For like one of my classes, if I'm lost, I'm just lost, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, even as a commuter, you know how hard it is to make friends. Like, we don't have the same life as residents, you know? So it's like, I already had this struggle, like, basically my freshman year at Fordham, you know? And suddenly we're online. So now it's like pros and cons, because now at the same time, I'm like, okay, no one else is making friends. I'm not alone. But then also, it's like, I'm wasting time, you know? Like, I'm on my second year of college. What am I doing? Like, you know? But yeah. I'm so grateful for the friends I have, of course. But
Mhm.
Also, I definitely miss like the commute there to my college, because I don't know if this makes sense, but I get inspiration from being outside and watching people like I would usually sit down on the train with my music and watch people like walk around on their phones and stuff, and that gives me, I don't know, motivation to do stuff. But now everything feels like a routine. I mean, it was a routine before, but it feels like the same exact thing every day. Like I would wake up, put a hoodie on, brush my teeth, open my laptop, and do that for the rest like of the week until the weekend. But it kind of like, I don't know, it makes me feel like everything around me is unfamiliar in a way.
Just need some sort of like creative outlet just to like feel like myself again. But with like school and like just having so much work, because like the schedule that I have, yeah, like that's my schedule, but you also have to like account for the fact that like I have so much homework, I have asynchronous lectures, and because of that, even though there's like sorts of like what is it, like blank spaces within my schedule, like oh, like that looks like free time, it's not, because it's like filled with like you have to do homework. And for me, like I have my own blog, and I'm so sad that I can't write about so many new issues that are going on, because that's something that makes me happy, that sort of like makes me come back to like, oh, this is who I am, I like talking about these things. Or I told myself I was going to start a new YouTube channel, I still haven't done that. I told myself I was going to paint this, paint that. And I feel like my personal I guess like my personal desires, that sounds weird, but my hobbies are just being put aside so much that it's just piling up and up. But then again, it's like my schoolwork is also piling up. So do I just like disregard myself completely? What am I like? Why am I sacrificing this much just to like keep up? But
It's like
Yeah,
the sense of
so
like you're like losing yourself a little bit. But whoever was
mhm.
going,
I think Noelia said this, like when you're trying to like, you try not to think about homework when you're not doing homework,
yeah.
but it's like the same thing. It's like, it's really hard. Yeah.
What you said also, like I like this semester before like the pandemic, before we didn't know like what was really going on, like before last semester ended, I was thinking like, okay, next semester or next year I'm gonna try and make more friends, like I'm gonna try to meet different people and like just join the different clubs. And then this happened and I'm just like, oh god, okay,
Mhm.
like never mind that. Like it was so, because you can't meet other people through like Zoom, and it's harder. Like I always try to get at least one phone number from each class just so I'm not completely lost, and that's easier to do in person because like you can't just stop in the middle of a lecture and just ask somebody. So I don't know, it's just been really hard to kind of like do the little things that kind of would make you feel like you're you. And it's just, I totally feel what Sanji said though.
so I try to like map out my schedule, right? But you can see, like, I try to say that I'm gonna exercise, like, at least what, let me count,
That's
one,
anxiety inducing.
like 5 days a week. But what do you like out of and like my entire schedule? It's always the exercise that gets cut out, like almost every
Yes,
single
oh
day.
my god,
And
yes.
that's the sad
Oh,
part
it's not just you, me too, girl.
It's
I
always
keep
a
telling
self-care.
myself, but yeah, I keep telling myself like, oh, you know what? Like I'm gonna take care of my body. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that.
So
You know,
real.
that's the only
Oh my
thing.
God.
Like